All right, so today is about listen. Not long ago, I was actually having uh, drinks with a friend that is actually working at an LGBT NGO, and he does an amazing job. He's a very great spirit, a very well prepared guy, and he was telling me that he was just so frustrated because lately the campaigns that he was organizing and that he started were actually maybe not being that successful because they were not engaging enough. So the organization where he works then they told him, we're gonna run this new campaign, but this time we're not gonna work with a media agency and we're not gonna organize it ourselves. Instead, we want an influencer to actually run the whole campaign because the whole thing is about engagement. And this is very interesting because then my friend, he was so frustrated, and his main frustration was that he gets all this knowledge, and he's only able to explain things in a very academic way, very smart way. But then he doesn't understand why people don't care when he explains something and why people care so little about the tone that he uses. Then I asked him, why is his organization going for an influencer this time? And then he said, well, it is because the donors are saying that what we need to do is that we need to engage people into a cause, and then we don't need to do a campaign for policymakers. So I'm all about communication and I'm all about engagement. But I do understand why some people working in the public sector have such a bad time when actually putting together a communication campaign. In politics, it's a little bit different because there is more acceptance towards it, but in civil society, it's so difficult, or especially for social movements. And I do understand that. I mean, I do understand the frustration of my friend who spent 20 years building his expertise, studying, and then he has never been heard for the tone that he uses. And then here it is, people listening to a newcomer that has a lot of charisma and that has maybe no expertise but has a very big follower base. But then you remember that movements that were successful were actually successful because they were engaging people, and then were not because they were projecting a personal cause. You realize that actually change happened because campaigns try to empower people are actually the most successful ones. And think of the Green Movement in Germany. Think of the gay rights movements in the US, but not only after Stonewall, but then from the 2010s. Think of a successful campaign from the other side, like Brexit, checking the other side. We cannot work for causes and push our message only in circles of smart people without engaging the general public, because think about it this way. It's just like having a bakery and having the best bread in the whole city, but then you don't have a door in the bakery, so people cannot come in. Now, the good news is that both in political movements, in civil society, in youth organizations, we can embrace the tools that we have at our disposal so we can get better in communication and we can engage better with the public. Because, and this is actually very hard to swallow, but the reality is that ideas and causes without communication, that is just wishful thinking.